want French? You want French?
Mm-hmm.
You want French?
Good morning, Crash. How you doing, baby? Happy. What's today? Monday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl Shakenya. That's okay, baby. I'm gonna do it with already. Yeah. When you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel Shakenya and hit subscribe. Look at some of the videos, and if you see any of them that you like, please just hit share. It's not a lecture today, but we are gonna recap a little bit. How about that? Yeah. So y'all know lately we've been talking about the manipulation tips.
You get ready to leave, I'll have you some, okay?
Okay. The manipulation tips from your 9th grade year. And now we're looking at, since you're 12th grade year, you seniors now, we're looking at the psychological damage that it has caused your child. And we're looking at the adverse effect that it has on your baby. I know, like when you purposely do stuff, when you purposely nitpick and you, man, it's so many things you can do to aggravate that other parent by using that baby. It's ridiculous, right? The simplest one, because I ain't write none of this down, I don't want to get too far from it, guys. The simplest one is you making that baby clean up at home. That baby got chores when they get home from school. There's certain things that they got to do, right? And then it seems like every time they go away for the weekend at the other parent's house and come back to yours, it's a constant battle of you telling them to clean up, telling them to wash their clothes, telling them to do whatever it is that you know that they're supposed to do, because you got a routine and you got structure at your house. So they notice, but every time they come back from that other parent, that's because when they over there, they don't have to do that. They're not making them do that. They're not instructing them to do that. They're not encouraging them to do that at your house. They're not doing, so it's you against them at that very moment. That's how the games begin. So I just want y'all to see how easy these manipulation tips are used. I want you to see how quick and easy, you know, they devour or whatever, and I can see, and you can keep score. Yeah, this is really a game that they playing. So when they say the term, they're using the child as a pawn, the pawn on a game or in a game. That's what it is. So you playing games with your baby, you playing using these manipulation tips. You run a game on your baby like you run a game on somebody in the street, right? So the adverse effect of that is they treating the people that they should love like they people on the street. You done turned them against their family. You done made them feel as if they better than, right? All by using these manipulation tips. So, like, with my issue, we're dealing with disorders, right? Everything that I did to prevent us from dealing with disorders, meaning that my children enjoyed their childhood. They was able to talk about any issues that they had. I taught them how to problem solve, so there was no way for them to be trapped and dealing with issues that just fester, right? They deal with it. So for me doing all that, I wrote a book, Dysfunctional Family, not to talk about the dysfunctions that I dealt with in my family. So I got through them through writing my book. This was my therapy, right? So for me to go through all of that, there's no way we should be suffering with nothing. No disorders, right? But within the last 6 years, we are. Yep, and my kids is 20, 30, I'm 50. But just in the last 6 years, since that baby was pulled away, we've been struggling with disorders, right? Yeah. My children were exposed to everything that I tried to shelter them from. Every single thing as a parent that I did to try to shelter them from certain things, they were indirectly exposed to them just in the last 6 years. Since that baby was pulled out, right? So understand, it's not that we wouldn't have went through things, we wouldn't have had issues, we wouldn't have had problems if the baby was still in our life, but it was a certain way that we dealt with issues when they arise, right? We dealt with them together as a family, right? We got through whatever it was that we was going through, right? But when that baby was pulled out, everything changed, everything, right? So, experience these things after the baby was pulled out. We was a normal, happy family. Normal, happy family. So that's why I'm compelled to come on here every morning, right? So the madness can stop, right? So nobody else have to go through what we're going through, right? No other families would be destroyed and destruction would never arise, right? So yeah, that's why I come on every morning to try to give you some tips and teach you on what not to do and some things on what you should do, right? So let's see. We didn't have problems. We just had each other to depend on and lean on. So we talked about 28 manipulation tips that had to have been used in my case. Yeah. For the baby to be pulled out, no connection, no nothing, as if I've done something to her. Hey, what up, Mike? Yep. Hey, what up, Steve? Yep. All 28 so far had to have been used in my case, right? So it had to be done for all that to come to an end, right? All that happiness that we was having, all that joy. Why did they have to come to an end? Yeah, we wasn't doing nothing wrong. Nobody did anything, right? Yeah, it should never have ended. Yeah, because that was part of their book. Yeah. So, for all that to end just because a man was jealous. A man was scorned. A man was bitter. A man didn't heal from the relationship. First of all, you got to go through all that. Everybody, man or female, you have to go through a relationship. You have to heal. You have to find closure, right? But all this other stuff, jealousy, and that's all feminine traits. Those are all the characteristics that I found in his mama. So all the bitterness, the jealousy, that hatefulness that I told you that I seen in his mama, all that. So all that was in her, and she put all that, instilled all that in that man, and it all came out in me. Yeah, all came out on me. Yeah, I know that didn't sound right, inappropriate, but you know what I'm trying. You know what I'm trying to say. And by the dad not being there because of his addiction to drugs, it was nobody there to balance none of that out, right? That's what I'm saying. It takes two. It takes both of y'all. You never want your child to just have all of your characteristics. You want your child to have the best in you. And if both of y'all are working together to raise that baby, y'all to be able to counteract a lot of that stuff. So all the hatefulness and bitterness, if dad was in the home, dad would have been able to stand up and say something and counteract some of that and balance it out a little bit to where I wouldn't be going through what I'm going through right now. Yeah. Because ain't no man should feel that way. Ain't no man should feel that way about his baby mama. Not enough to where he's plot and lie and use manipulation tips and turn a baby against her just because he mad. Yeah. But then again, when you look at these baby mamas, my situation ain't no different from a baby daddy that's going through it with a bitter ass baby mama. Fix it, Jesus. This is a Christian show. Yeah. My situation ain't no different. You know how they get mad at you. They don't take you up on them advances. You don't take them up on none of their advances. You don't like them no more. You don't show them. So what they do, they keep the baby from you, right? They go down there and go to child support, try to up that child support. Yeah, my situation ain't no different. It's just switched. I got a baby daddy that did that. I had a baby daddy that turned into a bitter baby mama after the breakup. So everything she never healed from was put onto that man. Yeah. Everything that she never dealt with, all those unresolved issues, she put into that man, right? So it was instilled in him. So make sure y'all get to know people before y'all get to marrying them. Get to know their family dynamics. Get to know how they were raised. Get to know the people that's in the family. Because when you marry them, I do believe you marry the family. You do. You become a part of whatever it is. You become a part of their traditions. You become a part of the culture. Whatever it is that's going on in that family, you become a part of that when you marry into it. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, right? So when you get to know them, get to know that person, see how they was raised, right? Save you a lot of headache. It save you a lot of trauma, right? So get to know them before you have kids. Get to know them before you get married. Like my kids, if none of this had happened, me and her would have a relationship just like I have with my other kids. Yeah, my other children. Like, we talk every day, right? I tell them I love them throughout the day, right? They call me about anything. Do you know when something happened to me, whether it be good or bad, the first people I call is my kids. Yeah, and vice versa, right? we would share that as well. She would be just like them, right? Yeah, I hate all that was taken away from us with her being taken out of our life, right? So, happened to me, relationship, I want to have to do, to provide, nothing to remember. So, I'm trying to stick to script, y'all, because it was a lot. So him knowing the connection that I have with my kids, because that's why I tell you, your baby mama, your baby daddy, they need to be your best friend, because if not, they're the first people that can take you down, because they know everything about you. They know all your inner workings. They live with you. They know how you think. They know how you are, right? So he know the connection that I have with my kids. So all it would have taken for him is to tell her not to tell me nothing, right? And if he went as far as to tell her not to tell me nothing, to tell him everything that she told him, he never told me, right? So if it's a situation where she's running to him to tell him things that she should be telling me, why? Because I had an open line of communication with my kids. Yeah. Had an open line of communication with my kids. Had an open line of communication. So if it was any issue, she should have been able to come to me. But if he jumping in saying, no, tell me, I relay the message, we're going to call that diversion. So this is number 31. This is number 31, manipulation tip that I know for a fact had to be used. It's called diversion, right? So this one packs a mighty punch. This is when they withhold information from you, yeah, that you should know. This is when the child divulges secrets and tell them things about you, tell them how they feel about you, right? Now, some instances you hold on dear to some of those secrets, right? Because you never want the child to feel like they can't come to you and every time they tell you something, you running your mouth and you telling everybody else, right? You don't want the baby to feel that way about you. But in the same token, if the baby tells you something that you know for a fact, if the other parent knew, and it would help their relationship and strengthen their relationship, you tell them, right? Instance, what if the child says, they tired of mama hollering at me every time she come in the door, right? She want me to do something for her. Instead of her asking, she just flat out hollering, right? I'm tired of that. You tell that parent, right? Dad goes back and tell mom what the child said, right? So mom, after that, stops hollering. Child is not upset. A relationship is, everything is good now, right? As soon as the baby come in, as soon as mom come in the house, mom not hollering, she asks politely, can you do this and do that? Child goes do what they say, and that's it. What up, Christian? What up, Bev? What up, Caesar? I see y'all checking in. Hey, Kimberly, I hear you. Yeah, so that right there, that little piece of information, the parent can go and tell you to help strengthen the relationship, or the parent can withhold that information and use it as ammunition, right? So in my case, when she made a comment that, didn't my daddy tell you? That right there I had to put on my clue board, because that lets me know that it must be a series of things that she probably told him, that he probably told her that he would tell me, and he never told me, right? This one right here, you got to be real careful when you use it. You got to be real careful when you use it, because this can go both ways. This can go so many ways when it's used. So many ways when it's used. First of all, it's used to keep you off your game, right? Because if you're not knowledgeable about certain things, you don't know certain things, you out the loop. You out the loop. So things that you should know that don't keep you abreast of when it comes to that baby that they know, they can use it as leverage. They can use it as leverage. But the fact that they use it at all, right? I know. So this is to keep you off your toes. This is so you'll never know what's going on. And it's always to keep you in the dark, and you always the last to know. Yeah, fix it, Jesus. It makes it seem like you're incompetent as a parent. Right. Now, this works in the parent's interest. Now, when it comes to the baby, it's a double-edged sword, because now you got a baby thinking that you don't care. You got a baby walking around thinking that you know things of importance, but you haven't acknowledged them, you haven't addressed them, and you just walking around oblivious. Why? Because you really don't know. Why? Because the daddy ain't told you nothing, right? But the baby think you do, right? I'm telling you, this is nasty work. These manipulation tips you be using on these kids to get back at your baby mama, your baby daddy, is nasty work, baby. It's nasty work. So the child sees that you have no care or concern about their well-being. That's how the child feels, right? Remember when I told you on 9th grade year, you got to have an ounce of love and respect for your baby mama and your baby daddy? And then I told you got to practice the C's of co-parenting. Yeah, well, these are two of the C's of co-parenting. Showing care and concern for your baby mama and your baby daddy. right? So this right here lets me know that that wasn't being done. Just from the baby not having any care and concern about fix it, Jesus, fix it. Yeah, so he would use that, and I know he would use it as ammunition, because whenever we would get into it or have an exchange of words, he would always say, you need to talk to your daughter. He was so dramatic, like a girl, right? You need to talk to your daughter. And I'm like, talk to her about what? Right? So the things he would say you need to talk to her about were the things that he withheld from me. So he know I don't know what he talking about. He'll know that what do you mean? Talk to her about what? We talk every day. We have an open line of communication. I'm quite sure if there was anything that she needed to say to me, she would say, hey sis, I see you, Kathy, checking in, right? But no, she's already said it. But she didn't say it to me, she said it to him, because he told her not to say it to me, right? So you got to be real careful when you sharing kids with somebody when y'all raising them together, right? And be real careful. So never talk, blah, 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 blah. Feel about the parent is something that can help the relationship, blah, blah, blah. I think that was it, y'all. So tomorrow, because I just had to jump in a little bit from yesterday, but tomorrow, y'all, we're going to get back into that manipulation tip when you try to make a difference in the lifestyle, when you try to make it seem like your lifestyle is better than the other parent's lifestyle, and you try to convince that child that you can do more, and you're trying to get that baby away from the other parent. Yeah, I hate that y'all doing all of this stuff. God dang it. So we're going to get back to that tomorrow. Yeah, I'm trying to get in the Christmas spirit. I am, y'all. Am I the only one that ain't put up a tree yet? I did put it up on the way out the door, but I ain't decorated, right? Baby, I'm so sorry.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, y'all, it takes so much for me to get into the holiday spirit since that baby been gone. Like, Christmas used to be my favorite holiday. Now, you are so handsome. It's the dimples for me. It's the dimples for me. So y'all, yeah, it used to be that most. Oh, I used to love Christmas so much. Now, I just be waiting till it's over. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, I know. I'm getting better though, because it's unfair to the other children. Yeah, because just because that baby gone and I feel some kind of way, you still got other people and other kids. Like, I'm the matriarch of this family. I'm the grandmama. I'm the mama, you know. So it's certain things that I got to do no matter what. So for me not to be on point and not to be able to do because I'm not feeling, yeah, it makes me look as if I'm failing somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all this was done purposely. Yep, all this was done purposely. So if you going through it with your baby mama and your baby daddy and you having issues with the baby, yep, chances are they're using the baby against you. Yep, chances are they're using. So if you feeling down, you feeling out, you feeling alone, you feeling frustrated, you feeling defeated, you going through a lot with the baby, best believe somebody working against you. Best believe that. Yep, it ain't all coincidence. It ain't all in your head. Somebody is definitely working against you. And these manipulation tips shows you that they do. Get a copy of my book, Dysfunctional Family Knot. You can go to Amazon. You can go to lulupublishing.com. I'm out. Mwah.